Battlefield 2042. How did I ever get sucked back into this topic? Oh, I know. It's because EA and DICE have no freaking clue as to why their game keeled over and has now died just months after launch. But hey, now we've got the answer we've all been searching for. And guess who's to blame? Master Chief. My name is LtBuzzLitebeer, and yeah, at this point, EA and DICE are just rolling out any talking puppets they can find in front of an open mic to try and gaslight the community as to why the real reason is for 2042 flopping so damn hard. But before we dive into the latest from the Battlefield universe, I wanted to thank you all for the support you've been showing me and my channel. 100,000 subscribers is now a very real goal. And in case you aren't yet a sub, please take just a moment to smash that big, beautiful subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the bell to receive all my future upload alerts. Coming to us again from industry insider Tom Henderson. We've now got a full write-up via Xfire, link to that article in the video description below, and this is all grabbed from a town hall call held by various EA talking heads as to why Battlefield 2042 actually failed. Now, I'm not going to read the entire article to you verbatim, but the latest corporate explanation was thrown out there by Laura Meal, EA's chief studios officer, who, among other things, listed the global pandemic work-from-home environment and the fact that because of the scope of 2042, the Frostbite engine had to be completely redesigned, which took them more than 18 months of development time to update. Okay, I can understand both of those concepts. You were limited by working from home and the fact that the game engine just didn't allow for the ambition and scope of the project you were attempting. But then Meal starts to go way off the rails with further explanations that are so completely off base and incorrect. And I just don't know where to start with all of this. All right, here's the first one. Listen to this. According to Meal, after the Battlefield beta last summer, EA received a lot of feedback concerning bugs and unpolished areas of the experience. However, there was also a substantial amount of positive feedback from players. Listen to this quote. Players saying, "This feels like Battlefield. Battlefield is back. This is my Battlefield," so we had to embolden the team. Wait up. Full stop. I mean, I could see this part about the feedback concerning the bugs and unpolished areas happening, but this whole bit about players saying, "This feels like Battlefield. Battlefield is back," and "This is my Battlefield." Who actually says that? Because if you listen to the community, they were screaming at you that this was actually the very opposite of Battlefield. They were incredibly concerned about the direction that the franchise had taken. They were throwing around titles like it feels like Call of Duty, Overwatch, Hero Shooter, and Apex. Seriously, what self-respecting gamer out there that has actually played a Battlefield game in the past would look at any portion of the beta and say, "Yeah, Battlefield's back, baby"? No! What they were saying is, "Bring Battlefield back, baby," as in this piece of shit was far from what they were expecting. Did EA or DICE not run any focus groups? Did they poll anyone from outside the studio or the executive board as to what makes a great Battlefield game? Now, I'm not even going to touch that embolden the team comment because there's not much else that could have been stripped out of the game to make it any further from what Battlefield fans are accustomed to. And here's where this EA town hall call just gets downright comical, as Meal comments that the day one patches meant the game was quote-unquote stable, and the early critical reception was good, both of which I would label as categorically false. But wait for it, because this next part is just fucking priceless. Continuing on. However, according to EA, things took a turn, and that turn was the surprise release of Halo Infinite multiplayer. According to Meal, the comparison between both games was not favorable because Halo Infinite was a very polished title, whereas Battlefield 2042 contained bugs and wasn't as polished. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. All of our woes, all of our issues with 2042, missing content, missing features, being just piss poorly optimized, our very consciousness has been altered to look at 2042 in a negative light, all because Halo Infinite multiplayer came onto the scene, and you know what? It was just banging. I can't even begin to tell you how fucking delusional this entire argument just comes off. 2042 was doing well, but then old Master Chief showed up and ruined the day. EA, you still haven't figured it out, have you? Or more than likely, you know exactly why, and you just don't want to ever publicly admit it. I mean, can you still be grasping at straws and drawing blanks as to why people don't want to play Battlefield 2042? Later on in the article, Meal acknowledges that 3 key areas of the game were drawing the majority of the negative feedback. Number 1, bugs and performance. Number 2, game design and feature choices. And number 3, the game not aligning with player expectations. And here is how you completely alienate your player base and make a game so devoid of life that despite the fact that gamers want to love it for the Battlefield name alone, they just simply can't. Congratulations, EA and DICE, you have now perfected the manual on how to fast-track a historic franchise just straight into oblivion. First off, you got to make it run poorly, then you got to completely gut it out of core features, turn it into a cringy hero shooter, and then guess what? We're going to slap a Battlefield label on it, despite it being the most anti-Battlefield game in history. When you advertised this game, you advertised it as the love letter to the community. The Battlefield game to top all Battlefield games. You produced a near 9-minute Exodus short film to help build up pre-launch hype. You then fed us excuses about how the beta was an old build and that the live game was going to be much, much better. Then you want to come out and gaslight us with a statement, essentially saying that, hey, you guys would have been just fine with this game if it weren't for Halo Infinite multiplayer. That's just absurd. Did Halo remove VoIP? Did Halo remove the scoreboard? Did Halo remove destruction? How about decent hit registration, persistent servers, classes, decent optimization, functioning sound design? Really, EA, here's a little present to you, or as you like to call them, a surprise mechanic.
I didn't know how this machine worked.
Here's a bit more interesting information for EA DICE, just in case you still have no clue as to why players don't want to play your Battlefield game. And these are actual DICE employee Glassdoor reviews, which is a way for current employees to rate their workplace environments for other potential applicants to know what they're getting into before taking a job there. Here's the first one. Cons. Management have forgotten what a Battlefield game is. Management ignore valid feedback and criticism from the developers. I think that pretty much sums up 2042, don't you? Anyway, second one, cons. Management has no idea what they are doing. Agreed. Third one, the horrible management and decision-making is abysmal. You see management listed consistently in here? I have almost 20 years of experience, and I've never worked in such a disorganized place where we redo the same thing over and over again due to a lack of vision and effective decision-making. This contributed to the worst work-life balance I've had in my career so far. My best advice would be to restructure the management. And here's the final review. Top-heavy decision-making. Most of the time, it feels like someone high above decided something, and that is the law. When employees bring up feedback, it's already too late because EA already signed off on it. Problem is that they tend to sign off on something completely overscoped. And here, take a listen to this one, because this one really drops the hammer. Be agile. Listen to the developers more. Don't make games based on trailers. Make trailers based on games. Funny thing is here, as you read through these actual employee reviews, they aren't making any mention of Halo Infinite multiplayer or making any of 1,000 more excuses we've already seen released and made public by EA. They are pointing to the exact problem, like a huge, just mega bright highlighter. Management. If you can't get effective leadership from the top down, if you can't receive a clear and laser-focused vision, then your game is going to struggle through development and will ultimately end up releasing in a sad state like Battlefield 2042. I am really looking forward to reading your feedback about this one in the comments section below. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to receive all my future upload alerts. If you could take 1 second more to rate and or share this video, it would be greatly appreciated. You can find and follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and are always welcome to join my community Discord server. Links to all my socials in the video description below. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer, signing off.